In the quiet corners of our world, where the land still breathes in slow ancient rhythms, there stand sentinels of time. You know, we often pass them by without a second glance. They are simply trees, part of a landscape we have grown accustomed to. Yet some of these silent giants hold stories within their very grain, tales of a connection between humanity and nature that stretches back across countless generations. One such tree stands apart. It is a humble yet profound presence, a living chronicle of a history fading from our collective memory. Its branches have offered shade to our ancestors, its roots have anchored the soil through changing seasons. Imagine a solitary tree in a vast open field. Morning sun filters through its canopy, casting lacework of light and shadow on soft grass. Each leaf trembles in the breeze, a quiet symphony. This is not merely a plant, it is a world unto itself. It is a source of shelter, it is a provider of sustenance, it is a keeper of forgotten secrets. We are invited to look closer, to see beyond wood and leaf. Listen to the whispers carried on the wind through its foliage, whispers of a time the world was understood differently, a time of deep and abiding connection. This journey begins not with a grand announcement, but with a gentle invitation to slow down. Observe the subtle details that escape hurried lives. To truly comprehend the significance of this tree, we must look at it not as a single entity, but as a complete and intricate system. It is a living tapestry. Every thread, every component has its own unique purpose and value. From the deepest roots drawing sustenance from the earth, to the highest leaves reaching for the sun, no part is without its role. The tree, in its full, magnificent growth, is a testament to nature's efficiency. It is a self-contained world of potential, a provider of diverse resources that traditional cultures learn to unlock with patience and wisdom. Imagine it standing in its natural environment, scattered across a rolling savanna, clustered in a quiet, sun-dappled woodland. Its form is perfectly adapted to its surroundings, a shape sculpted by millennia of wind, rain, and sun. For many traditional societies, this single species was the cornerstone of their material world. The health of the trees was intrinsically linked to the health and prosperity of the community. They were a reliable, renewable source of life's necessities, a natural inheritance that asked only for respect and sustainable use in return. Let us consider the sheer ingenuity of this reliance. This one tree offered a solution to countless daily challenges. It was a one-stop provider, a natural supermarket and hardware store combined. The relationship between a people and their food is one of the most fundamental connections in existence. It was a living, breathing larder, its offerings changing with the slow and steady turning of the seasons. In the gentle warmth of spring, the first offerings would appear. Tender young leaves, shoots, full of life and vigour after the winter dormancy, provided the first fresh greens of the year. The height of summer brought the ripening of the fruit, the most eagerly awaited gift from the seasonal larder. This was a time of plenty, a period when the community could feast on the fresh, sun-ripened flesh. As autumn approached, the nature of the larder would shift once more. The fruits would fall, and the focus would turn to the seeds and nuts held within. Gathering food from the tree was far more than a simple act of taking. It was a skillful practice, an art form passed down through generations. People knew precisely when to gather the leaves for peak tenderness, and they understood that taking too many from a single branch would weaken it. They learned to read the subtle signs of ripeness in the fruit, the slight change in colour, the gentle give of the flesh, the sweetening of its scent on the breeze. For those higher up, Children might be sent scrambling up the strong lower limbs of the trunk, their laughter echoing through the canopy as they gathered the bounty. For the highest, most inaccessible branches, a long pole might be used to gently shake the limbs, causing a shower of ripe fruit to rain down onto soft cloths spread out on the ground below. The art of the harvest was therefore an art of reciprocity, of taking only what was needed and ensuring that the source of the gift was always protected and honored. The journey of the tree's gifts from the branch to the table was a testament to human ingenuity and culinary tradition. Freshly gathered leaves required little more than a quick rinse before being added to a stew. Freshly gathered shoots required little more than a quick rinse before being lightly steamed. Their delicate green taste was a welcome contrast to preserved foods. Slices of fruit laid out on woven mats to dry in the sun, the heat slowly concentrating their sugars into a chewy, long-lasting sweet that could be enjoyed for months. The hard outer shells first had to be cracked with 2 smooth stones. The kernels inside were then roasted over the gentle heat of embers. This paste was a powerhouse of nutrition, added to soups for thickness, mixed with dried fruit to create dense, energy-rich cakes for travelers. Perhaps the most important transformation was grinding the seeds into flour. This flour was the foundation for a simple unleavened bread or flatbread cooked on a hot stone or directly in the ashes of a fire. Beyond providing sustenance and shelter, the tree held another profound secret within its living tissues. It was a gentle yet powerful pharmacy, its leaves, its bark, its seeds, offering a wealth of compounds that traditional cultures learned to use for healing and well-being. Not a medicine of harsh chemicals or invasive procedures, but one of subtle influences and holistic balance. Knowledge was empirical, built over generations through observation and trial and error and deep intuitive understanding. The leaves, so versatile in their culinary and practical uses, also played a central role in the tree's traditional pharmacy. One common preparation was a simple tea. Steeping the leaves gently extracted water-soluble compounds into a soothing beverage. Some had a calming effect, sipped in the evening to promote sleep or ease a worried mind. For external ailments, leaves were made into poultices. Fresh leaves were crushed, sometimes with a little water, into a soft, moist pulp. A warm poultice soothed aching joints. A warm poultice eased sore muscles. The leaf acted as a natural soothing bandage. Boiling leaves produced aromatic steam with therapeutic benefits. Inhaling that steam helped clear the airways and ease breathing. The bark of the tree, its tough, protective outer layer, was a source of its most potent medicinal compounds. Healers sought fallen branches, or took only small, thin shavings from the trunk, carefully ensuring the tree's continued life. The most common preparation was a decoction. This intensive process extracted tougher, complex compounds locked in woody fibers. The resulting liquid was dark, potent, often intensely bitter to the taste. The bark was also ground into a fine powder. That powder had many uses, especially for treating wounds. Powder mixed with oil pressed from the tree's seeds or with animal fat turned into a thick, spreadable paste. Ideal for skin conditions, rashes, burns, and severe dryness or cracking. Beyond food and medicine, the tree offered a gift of a more elemental nature, the gift of fire. It was the fire that cooked the food, the warmth that held back the chill of the night, and the light that extended the day, allowing for stories to be told and crafts to be made after sunset. The wood from this particular tree was often prized for its burning qualities. It was dense and slow burning, providing a steady, long-lasting heat from a bed of glowing embers, making it an efficient and reliable source of fuel for the hearth at the centre of the home. People would collect branches that had fallen naturally during storms or from old age, a form of natural recycling. The soft, crackling sound of the wood burning in the hearth was the very heartbeat of the home, a sound synonymous with safety, comfort, and the gathering of family at the close of the day. Its strength and durability made it the primary material for construction. These timbers were the bones of the shelter, the strong skeleton on which the dwelling was built. Craftsmen used hand tools to shape logs into beams and posts. Each piece was chosen with care. Roofs might be covered with layers of bark, or covered with leaves from the same tree. Fences protected gardens from foraging animals. Corrals kept livestock secure. A home of this wood was built to last and could be passed down for generations. The tree provided more than shelter. It gave permanence and stability. In the hands of a skilled maker, the wood of the tree was transformed into all the objects of daily life. From the wood came the tools that made other tasks possible. The handles for axes, adzes, and knives were carefully shaped to fit the hand. The wood also filled the home with the objects of domestic life. Spoons, ladles, and stirring paddles were carved for the kitchen. Simple, sturdy bowls and plates were hollowed out to hold the food that the tree itself often provided. This act of making was a deeply personal and creative process. The maker would follow the grain of the wood, letting its natural patterns guide the final form of the object. In this way, the wood of the tree became a part of the family's story, its substance woven into the fabric of their daily routines. The deep, ancient relationship between humanity and this single generous tree was not broken overnight. Instead, it was a gradual quiet, drifting apart, a slow erosion of dependency over many generations. The rise of modern agriculture brought a new geometry. Vast, open fields stretching to the horizon. A tree like ours came to be seen as an obstacle, an interruption in the clean, straight lines of the plough. Why learn the difficult art of weaving cordage from bark when strong, cheap rope was readily available? Why memorize the complex preparations for a traditional remedy when a pill from a bottle offered a quicker, if not always better, solution? As the practical need for the tree's many gifts diminished, the intricate web of knowledge that surrounded it began to unravel. This wisdom, accumulated over countless generations, was not written down in books. It was a living library, held in the minds and hands of the people. The old knowledge, once essential for survival, came to be seen by some as quaint, as old-fashioned, or simply as an unnecessary burden. Children were taught about the history of distant lands and the principles of abstract science, but not about the medicinal properties of the plants growing in their own backyard. The tree may still stand in the field, but without the human knowledge to unlock its potential, it becomes just a tree, its thousand uses locked away, its silent story unheard by the generations that pass it by. As our journey comes to a gentle close, we find ourselves once more in the quiet presence of the tree, bathed in the soft, fading light of sunset. The story of its thousand uses is not a grand historical epic, but a soft, subtle echo that still whispers on the breeze. This single tree stands as a silent monument to that forgotten era, a time when survival was an art of observation, respect, and deep, practical knowledge of the immediate environment. This was not a world of conquest over nature, but one of participation within it. Yet, in gaining so much, we have perhaps overlooked something of immense value. The tree remains, a living link to a past we can barely imagine. Its leaves still catch the last rays of the sun, and its roots still hold fast to the earth. It lingers in the rustle of the leaves, a gentle reminder of a different way of being, a different way of seeing our place within the intricate and beautiful tapestry of the natural world. As darkness finally settles over the landscape and the stars begin to appear in the vast, silent sky, our journey ends. Rather, it is a quiet invitation to carry a piece of its wisdom with us as we move forward. It is an invitation to slow down, to look more closely at the world around us, and to rediscover the quiet sense of wonder that can be found in the simple, everyday miracles of nature. These may not be literal trees that provide for all our needs, but they can be the principles the tree represents: resilience, diversity, a deep connection to place. It reminds us that despite all our technology and all our knowledge, the world is still a place of profound wonder, full of secrets that unfold only for those who approach it with a quiet and patient heart. And so, we leave the tree to its silent watch under the stars, a guardian of ancient wisdom and a symbol of nature's enduring balance. The wind whispers one last time through its leaves, carrying a final simple thought. The world is full of wonders, if we only have the quietness of spirit to look and to listen.